Yeah. Come on, man. You know what it is, man. Shout out. I'm feeling a red mood today. Let me make sure my phone off. I'm feeling in a red mood today, man. We got some stuff to talk about. I'll let y'all cook for a little bit. And it's time to put an end to the noise, right? Real quick. I know y'all been doing a lot of talking points, and I can't, I'm tired of hearing the noise right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus everybody up real quick. This is one of them ones. We're not gonna raise our voices. We're not gonna get animated. We're not gonna get out of pocket. We're not gonna name no names. All we're gonna straight up do is just tell you what we've been telling you in the barbershop, and the barbershop been pinpoint accurate when we be talking about it, bro. See, it's a lot of y'all out there. See, your sources is gone. You're swimming. You don't know no behind the scenes stories. You ain't got nothing. Every other week, you got another story. One day you like the quarterback, the next day you don't like the quarterback. The next day it's a new dude. Maybe it's Marcus Mariota. Maybe they get somebody in the draft. Bro, this is nasty work. You're out here looking desperate. This is the equivalent of 50-year-old men on Tinder. You're still on Zeus. You're still on every dating app in the world. You still going up to people. You still going to clubs. You still going to Working Women Wednesdays and Frat Guy Thursdays, bro. You're looking nasty out here. This is unbecoming of you. Every other week, you're out here trying to date another quarterback. You're out here looking very, very desperate, thirsty, dusty. Don't be thirsty. The thirst is just alive. But I'm going to tell you how I always tell you. You know what we're going to do in the barbershop, man. Malik Willis, he's the latest flavor of the week. He's the latest guy. Boy, I tell you, man, you keep swiping right on these. You keep swiping right and keep figuring out, how come nobody wants to connect with me? How come nobody wants to date me? Oh, well, listen, you're out here thirsty. Every quarterback you see, you're salivating over all types of, articles and interviews. We're going to get to it. Because let me just tell you this. Malik Willis has never been like that. And you know it, and I know it, and the world knows it. So y'all might want to stop the cap. Today it ends. You can come out with the Malik Willis film work if you want to. You can come out with the Malik Willis articles and all that good stuff. But I'm telling you, it ain't going to look too good. Let's get to it. We got to talk about it. It's the barbershop right here. You know it's your boy, G-Boy. Stop playing with me. Oh, yeah. We got to get to this, man. We got to get to it. Let me make sure I got this set up. Come on in. Get your coffee ready to go. I thought I had this. Thought I had this queued up. Oh, I did have it queued up, ready to go. We'll just put it in here in a second. So we do got it queued up. Don't worry about that. We do. So we're going to get to this. Welcome on in. Matter of fact, you can check out, see if you like this hoodie. Right here, this that barber. Let me take this down real quick. Right here, that's that new barbershop. You see how it look? That's that Nike boy. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want that, I like this little hood action right here, man. It's cool. It give you a little action around the top. You know what I'm saying? This hat is exclusive. You're not getting this. It's a World Series joint. You ain't getting those. You know I'm the Mad Hatter. But you can get this barbershop embroidered joint. Go to Bushline Beauty. Matter of fact, check it out in bushlinebeauty.com right now. You can check it out under our branded gear. Also, if you are a member, check your member tab. We giving out 20% on all Kool-Aid Mafia and Barbershop 9 branded gear. So that's like the Barbershop, still high quality. You can get that 20% off, and that's just a perk of you being a member. So check out the member tab in YouTube. You'll get that discount code, and that works for all Kool-Aid Mafia gear, all Barbershop gear, not branded. So enough of that. Let's get to this. So we got to talk about this situation because we've been into the anybody but Shedeur conversation for a very long time. And if you've been, if you've been, at the channel, you know we've talked about this. This is not anything new. This is something that's been going on since Shedeur Sanders has been here. I don't know why they're continuing to really peddle it at this level, because we've already seen this. We've seen them do the exact same thing with Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is a guy who was a former first-round pick, but in this case with Malik Willis was a third-round pick. Kenny Pickett did nothing in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett did nothing in with the Raiders. Kenny Pickett has never done anything since. But we had people that was writing, trying to tell us and trying to tell me specifically how great Kenny Pickett was going to be and how he was going to move and how everything was going to be great. We will not let you forget that. I'm not letting you forget that. Don't try to bury that under the rug and you want to act like that never happened and dip right off into the quarterback conversation again, talking about who you think given the best chance to win. You thought that dude gave you the best chance to win. That just goes to show you don't do your homework. Anybody that was watching the film, anybody that watched football knew that. Then we're not even going to talk about Dillon Gabriel. He's already been in his character. And here's how you know you guys don't believe anything you say, because y'all the same people that told us how great Dillon Gabriel is, and I got to go on every single show, and you talking about cutting Dillon Gabriel. The same people who told you that this dude was a viable quarterback, how they loved him. Kevin thought he was this. He's going to get more out of it. And now all of a sudden you want to trade him to Kevin again in Atlanta. I find that very funny, people. The same folks. Obviously, we don't even got to talk about the Joe Flacco situation. These are some people that told you Bailey Zappi was the dude. We're not going to get to the whole Bailey Zappi was him. We're not going to let you forget about that either. You tried it. I think he might give us. See, here's what you got to learn. Let's break this down. The code word for gives them the best chance to win means I can say any name and don't have to put any facts behind it. I can say any name and not put no analysis behind it. I can say any name and then fill in the blank afterwards. That gives them the best chance to win. And that can be anything. Maybe if he's 6 foot, he could give them the best chance to win. Maybe if he wears a blue shirt, I think he can give them the best chance to win. Maybe if I squint hard enough, even though he doesn't have stats, maybe I can think that maybe he could have the best chance to win. See, but where you guys get it wrong is this. If you couple that with the Browns believe, so that absolves you of saying something stupid. That absolves you of not doing no research. And that absolves you in saying, I'm going to make believe in my mind that the Cleveland Browns said it, that he gives them the best chance to win. And therefore, I can put any name in a blank. Mr. Ed gives them the best chance to win. Raptor from Rugrats gives them the best chance to win. Darkwing Duck gives them the best chance to win. And all you got to say is, if they want to maximize what the Browns need to do, I think bringing in this guy gives them the best chance to win. Based on what? We know you ain't watched the film, because you'll say, well, I'm not saying I'm a scout or anything. So hold on. This is how you know there are such wild takes from week to week. You're swimming. This is why your take one day can be, I like Mendoza. But 3 weeks ago, you said Mendoza wasn't good. You said you wouldn't move up to draft any of these quarterbacks, and then the next week, Ty Simpson's your guy. When you find out Drew Aller wasn't no good, you say, oh, I like Nussmeier. But then when you find out you wasn't getting no quarterbacks, then it was, Well, I thought Dylan gave you the best chance to win. Now you want to cut Dylan? So now the flavor of the week, boys and girls, is Malik Willis. The flavor of the week is Malik Willis. And this is where I stopped. Because I was going to let you play. I was going to play along with this as long as y'all. Because listen, let's just be honest with you. Let's just be honest with you. Ain't nothing to talk about. Ain't no new information. Ain't no new games. Ain't no new data. There is no new information. If you tell me, this is how people tell on themselves. If you told me a couple of weeks ago, you did not think Mendoza was good, but all of a sudden today you say, I think he's good. You telling on yourself. You on dating apps again. You swiping left. You're addicted to swiping for quarterbacks. Ooh, I like the way that guy's jersey looks. Ooh, I like the way he answered that question. Ooh, I like the way I can imagine him being in my jersey. Where's the new data? Where's the new football games that he played? Where's the new touchdowns he threw or interceptions? Where is any of that? Nothing happened. It happened in the four corners of your mind, thinking about nonsensical things because you have nothing to talk about. And I get it. I'm part of the industry. There's topics that we do and I do on a daily basis that I got to have something to talk about. I get it. I ain't a hater. I get the business. I'm in the business. But you guys take it a step too far. You guys take it a step too far. You get a name and you run it into the dirt. But for some reason, I just couldn't take it this time. I just couldn't do it. After 2 weeks of hearing this stuff, I said, stop the cap. Because it always seems to be that G. Bush has to stop the noise. I'm the noise stopper for some reason, and I be letting y'all go along. I had to stop you on Dante Moore, didn't I? I stopped you on all of the quarterbacks, didn't I? Did I tell you about each and every one of them? You tell me who told you what was correct about each and every one of these quarterbacks. I go back and look at my discography. I got hits and classics, classic after classic after classic. It's Ready to Die, Reasonable Doubt, All Eyes on Me, and then every blog G. Bush did in the summer. Fire. But y'all pulled this up on me. Case exhibit number A. I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
When it comes to Malik Willis, I don't know. Do you think that they'd want him? Do you think people would sign up for Malik Willis right now?
I think most people would be like, why would you pay for another quarterback when you could just ride out this very, very, it's pretty clear.
Well, then
this is a rebuild year. Why not just ride it out for free, basically, with Shedeur Sanders? And then if you have to, fine. If Watson, if there's an injury, if Shedeur, for whatever reason, can't make it through the year or is benched because it's clear he hasn't gotten better or whatever, then fine, we'll see some games out of Watson, but it's the end. It's the end of an era.
I'll make the argument. I'll say that if I'm not the right guy to do it because I don't mind Shedeur at all. But if they were just looking at him going, well, none of these guys are going to work out, then you got to do what you got to do.
Don't worry about it. I got, you know how I back this up. Don't worry. Hey, don't worry about it. I back it up. I'm going to give you, I got something coming up later on in the show that'll tell you exactly what they're going to do. But by the way, I always say this. Why do people feel like automatically that it's a rebuild year? It's like they trying to amp, and we'll talk about it. It's like they're trying to amp up Andrew Berry to get a false sense of security so that they then can say he has to go after this year. And in no circumstances is this a rebuild year, and they're trying to lull you to sleep. Nobody is falling for that. No, it's not a rebuild year. And no, they're not playing with house money. I'll tell you exactly why, because guess what? Andrew Berry just did an interview. Keep it going. 972 in here. Hit that like button for your boy.
but you have to believe that Malik Willis is going to be able to get you closer. Like, I don't need to make the playoffs year one with Malik Willis. I think it would probably be unrealistic considering all the other things you need, but it just costs you money. It doesn't cost you picks.
So you telling me if you don't believe that you're going to make the playoffs with Malik Willis and it's only going to cost you money, ain't going to cost you picks. See, what you guys don't understand is picks and money are capital. There are three ways. Let me once again, I keep having to break it down the economic way. There are three ways in which you can make your team better. There are three ways in which you can acquire talent. One is via draft. Just because it's called the draft does not mean that those assets are more valuable than the picks and the money that you can pick on players today, right? Yes, you like the draft because the draft has exponential growth. In your mind, you think these are lottery tickets. In your mind, you believe every single pick could turn out to be the next Myles Garrett, the next Peyton Manning, the next Tom Brady, the next Barry Sanders, but they all don't equal out to be that. They are important, but yes, you still have other things that are important. Let's get to the other things that are important. Money, which you don't have. There's a reason why Deshaun Watson keeps staying on the roster, and there's a reason they can't get rid of him because he has a guaranteed contract. So when you have a guaranteed contract, yes, you can cut him, but guess what? You get a dead cap hit, and dead cap hit means minus $80 million in operating cap. Now, operating cap, that's what you use to then go and pay new players or retain other good players in order to make your team better. So why not let's just cut Deshaun Watson, have to go then replace his number on the roster by getting more money and taking it and giving it to a new quarterback. And then you have $80 million less to go get offensive linemen, receivers, or retain people who had really good years like Devin Bush. What do you mean it's just money? No. It's not just 20 million. It's 20 to 30 million on top of the 80 million that you're going to have to lose because you cut Watson.
You could still have another nice draft class and try to put something together. Now, I know how realistic that comes off to fans. Probably not, but you got to try to plan for all scenarios here. If you got to like 8 wins this year, from 3 to 5 to 8, that's nice. 8 and 9 with Malik Willis. You're thinking about that second year and adding more talent to him and guys in year 3 and year 2 blossoming. If you got the 9 wins, hell, you're laughing, even if you don't make the playoffs. If you do make the playoffs, then you're really excited.
So let's get to this. So let's just stop the games. And you say, that's a crazy G, but I just saw that. That's wild work. Well, let me get to this. Here's your problem that you got. Here's your problem. He said that, and people are referencing Malik Willis as if this is Michael Vick coming out of jail. They said it like this is Steve Young sitting behind Joe Montana. They said it like, I don't know, maybe after Deshaun Watson sitting out a year. At least Deshaun Watson had all kind of stats, numbers, all the above. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. This is the Malik Willis that you guys are talking about. This is, hold on, let me make sure I got it correct. I'm just trying to look for it. I'm looking for it. Hold on. This is the Malik Willis you guys are salivating over? This is 2025, right? He lost 41-24 against the Baltimore Ravens. By the way, I went back and watched that film work. 18-21. Nice work, bro. 288, 1 touchdown. You are 9-11 for 121. You lost that game too. 1 touchdown. You were 1-1, 2 of 2. This man played 4 games. He played 4 games, and 2 of the games he didn't throw the ball more than twice. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is 2024. You still lost to the Bears. You threw for 10 of 13, 136. You were 1 or 2 for 34 yards. At Jacksonville, 4 or 5 for 56 yards. 13 of 19 for 202. Them is Dylan Gabriel numbers, bro. 12 of 14 for 122 and a touchdown. Where's the rest of his stats? Oh, this is 2023. He threw 4 passes. Am I missing something? Oh, here's 2022. Let me see if he was cooking for the Titans. You know, they drafted him, right? Let's see if he was cooking for them. Well, he was 14 of 23 for 99 yards against the Texans. He had 2 interceptions and was sacked 4 times. 3 of 4 in a loss, 2 of 4 in a loss. 5 of 16 for 80 yards, 3 sacks, okay? 6 of 10 for 55 yards, 1 interception, 3 sacks. 1 of 4 for 6 yards. What? They don't even got this man's face scan up here. They don't even got this man's avatar in the stats. This is how little he has played. They don't even have a legit up-to-date picture for my guy. This is the dude? Hold on. Now, let me get this straight. These is the EPA type dudes that's telling you that Shedeur was the worst quarterback in the history of mankind, and that this man has played less than Shedeur Sanders for 2 different teams after one gave up on him, and he's only throwing. Let me just go to this. We're not even gonna wait. Let me take them stats up off there. Let me take this off here because I thought I was just lying to myself. I thought I was tripping. I thought I was looking at somebody else's stats. Maybe that they would come, they would get to me. Maybe that these stats would jump off the page to me. And then I went back and watched the tape and I said, this is regular. He's athletic, but I been knew that because you know what? I watched him at Liberty. I did draft profiles at Liberty. I watched his numbers and stats there. I watched him in Tennessee. See, there's a difference between guys turning on the Thursday night game and the dudes that be really watching it. Hova 76, he puts it best. This is kind of small, but we're going to put it. I'm going to read this. Thank you, my guy, for putting it. And this is why I just said the cap stops today. This man has never been better than Shedeur Sanders at any point in his life. When they was drinking milk and cookies, he wasn't better. When he was going out for recess and play on the playground, was not better. When they was playing in middle school, junior high, high school, or JV or JUCO, he was not better. He has not been better in college. His resume don't stand up in college. His resume don't stand up in the pros, and he's not nice like that. And we had to sit up here and pretend for you guys because we was being nice to you, but you took it too far. As a senior at Liberty, Malik Willis threw for 2,800 yards and 27 touchdowns while completing 60% of his passes. He was playing against North Texas and Eastern Michigan. But remember, that you told us college stats don't count. We can't use that. College stats don't count. Well, it only seems to not count when they don't really line up with what you're talking about. As a senior in the Big 12, Shedeur Sanders threw for 4,100 yards, 37 TDs, completing 74% of his passes. He's never been as accurate. He's not a polished passer to throw the football. Stop it. As a rookie third-round quarterback in the NFL, Malik Willis had 3 starts. Count them. 1, 2, 3. Now, they talking about the worst quarterback in history with EPA and all his stats, and he had 3 starts. He got 3 starts. Shedeur Sanders, got 7? These were his numbers. He was 6 of 10 for 55 yards and an interception, no touchdowns. He was 5 of 16 for 80 yards, 0 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. He was 16 of 25, 135, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Let that sink in. The same people that's telling you, sitting up in your face, playing in your face, talking about by no stretch of imagination was he good. These were his numbers. And they're advocating giving this man $30 million, but you're not going to get it off. Malik Willis, bless him, has started a total of 6 NFL games. He sucked in 5 out of 6 of those starts. He had 1 big game for the Packers last season. By the way, the big game he had dwarfs in comparison to what Shedeur Sanders did against the Titans. 380-some yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 on the ground. Led the team in rushing. The game he had was nothing compared to the best game that Shedeur Sanders had. Now the Cleveland media is pushing the idea of signing him to a $15 to $20 million contract. Malik has never been on Shedeur's level, is not now on Shedeur's level, and will never be on Shedeur's level. The Cleveland Browns need to build an offensive line. They need to add a legit tight end and a couple receivers. $15 per million for a dude out of Liberty who is not on Shedeur's level and has less starts than Shedeur after 4 years is an L. They are advocating. Hit the like button. 1,400 people in here, wherever you're at. Y'all are advocating taking $30 million to give to a person who has started less games, has less stats, has less ability, is the definition of you being anybody but Shedeur. I would have respected you more if you said Marcus Mariota. At least give me somebody with a track record. But you peddle this stuff. I get it. I understand. We get it. I'm going to be fair. Let me be fair to you. I want to be fair. Somebody, Daryl Ryder. Daryl, what's up, bro? You got a chance. You got a shot, buddy. Tell him what you think.
Willis, his name continues to come up every day, and I see 2 factions when it comes to the fans. One is, oh, yeah, let's pounce on him. The 2 games we saw of him last year in big moments, he came through with flying colors. Then there's most of the other faction, which is,
right.
What? How could this? Why not just run it back with Shedeur? Where are you on this?
I'm running back with Shedeur. He's got the same amount of experience as Shedeur Sanders does. I don't know about giving a guy with that kind of experience $25+ million a year and getting into a bidding war for him. That would be quite the leap of faith by Andrew Berry. And look, I mean, if the organization feels that he is the answer, he better be the answer, and you have to go after him because getting your franchise quarterback during the offseason, that doesn't happen very often. Usually those are stopgap measures. But if you think that Malik Willis, I saw someone yesterday say that I think it was Chris Sims, said that he's a superstar in the making. I don't know about that, but if you think that that's the guy, you go get him, you be aggressive in getting him, but I'm not convinced that that's the case, and I would rather just see if Shedeur Sanders can do this thing or not. Also, Shedeur's a lot cheaper.
See, come on, guys. So think about what they're telling you real quick so you don't spaz out. Obviously, it's silly season. You know how this thing works. Everybody looks around, finds a story. At least Daryl didn't take the bait. You didn't take the bait. Both clips courtesy of 92 through the fan. And to be truthful, it looks like Ethan, Ken, and Lima are like, yeah, come on, bro. Come on, man. We can't even do that. So you telling me a guy that played less than Shedeur Sanders? Think about this. You'd rather give somebody with a less track record of success outside of your building that you didn't see firsthand $15 to $20 to $30 million. And he has a less resume, less proven facts than the guy you have in your building, who everybody believes in, who the players believe in, who the coaching staff says we try to draft. If you're pushing that narrative, come on, God. This one ain't going. Malik Willis, I wish you the best of luck, brother. I get your bag, get your check. I love to see young guys get an opportunity to go over here and do your thing. But like, listen, I know somebody say, you're going to get some money, but you're just not going to get no money over here. You're going to get some money, but you're not going to get no money over this way. Let me get to this real quick. I want to check out, see what we got. Let's get to this. Super chats. J-Mac Too Fresh says, it's obvious, G. Your co-hosts never did their homework on nephew. Double wrist up. Yeah, colleagues, man. Francis Seabrook became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you, and welcome to the family. Alexander Gallant says, Browns will win a division led by Shedeur Sanders. We appreciate you. Appreciate you, my guy. Blacktop Bully A-Train, member for 3 months. We appreciate you. Why are people conveniently and selectively forgetting that 12 didn't get any offseason prep? The only meaningful time he had was in those 7 games. He essentially had his offseason. Or he had his offseason in season. We talked about that with Boog. Matter of fact, if you didn't catch that interview, check out the interview I had with Boog. We talked about a lot of this stuff. He had a lot of gems in that conversation. Shout out to Boog and Coach Prime. They really, he really came on and really had some gems in terms of what Shedeur was going through during the season. And he talked about it. He said, bro, I was even a little nervous. In season is not the time to be trying to figure out what these receivers is talking about. That's the thing, bro. Sev Low. They were even mentioning Shambliss as he's been court begging the NCAA to go back to school. It's embarrassing, really. Yeah, bro. Shambliss, come on, man. This dude is he trying to beg to get back and get that check because he about 5'11", and he looked like DTR. No disrespect, he played like DTR. That's the difference, man. And I gotta excuse some people because some people don't really be having it like that. DJ97 became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate you and welcome to the family. Now, you didn't think I was just gonna follow this up on no humbug, did you? Did you think I was just gonna follow this up? Now, the big news is this. The big news, peoples, is this. Is that when you take a look at what we got going on, the Andrew Berry is the one who really broke the news, really. He really broke the situation down for us, didn't he? Because Andrew Berry really came out yesterday and told you in real terms and in real time what we was on. You see, the Cleveland Browns have been doing a couple of things. The Cleveland Browns have stepped up. They have stepped up their savvy when it comes to their communication. I was critical of it. I said, use the media to your example. Use it to your advantage. Use the media in order to get your messaging out. And I think Kevin Stefanski, his messaging was terrible. See, messaging really does things, and it puts people it puts people at calm. It also puts people in check, and it also puts noise to bed. And Andrew Berry yesterday, conveniently, dropped an interview that had the internet jumping. And he all but confirmed what we've all been knowing from Jump Street. Maybe every show I get on, I keep telling them. First, it was the Todd Monken. Oh, that don't mean nothing. The Ravens never wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders. Todd Monken. Hey, what's up, Shedeur? My G. Hey, yo, shout out to Hey, listen, we tried to draft you because we're going to talk about that a little later. Yeah. Denzel Ward. Oh, yeah, man. Shedeur, he got that. If he want to go out and get that job, he going to get it, you know? Shelby Harris, we're going to open him with arms wide open. We're going to support him. Myles Garrett. I mean, is Shedeur the guy? We looking at it like that. You see, every single person is coming out telling you and giving you that work, giving you all the tea leaves, and every single time, well, I didn't see anything in that. I didn't read. I didn't really read into that. I don't know if that's really what he meant. You wouldn't believe it if the boogeyman jumped out of the bed and said, hey, it's me, the boogeyman. You'd be like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Boy, let's get to this, though. Because this, listen, I almost named this. I almost started talking like this with my joint. I almost started, I wasn't even going to play with you when it came to this. But Andrew Berry came and he came out swinging. And watch what he says. We're going to break down this interview because he tells you who's the quarterback. He tells you who you're going to get in the draft. He tells you what the focus of the offense is. He tells you why he chose Todd Monken. He tells you everything you want to know, so you ain't got to guess. You ain't got to think for yourself. And he does it in a way. This is why, you notice? You notice? Oh, no, I listen, I've been told people, I don't know if people didn't get it. I've been told, I was the first one who said Malik Willis is not nice like that. I've said it on every platform, all of them. All of them. It's not the first time I've said that. I don't know what y'all, I'm like, what? Let's get to what Andrew Berry said, because we ain't even got to get to this. He'll get picked. Salute to him. We got other plans. Let's get to what Andrew Berry talking about.
For us, the biggest thing was after figuring out where we were and where we wanted to be is maintaining a very open mind. Great coaches come in different shapes, sizes, backgrounds, you name it. And ultimately, you're trying to find an individual whose strengths align with what your organization needs in the moment. So we wanted to design a process that allowed us to cast a wide net and ultimately narrow it to the candidates that we felt fit what we.
Let's stop this right now and let's get class in session. Let me show you how, as a marketer and a communicator, I have 2 bachelor's degrees in communication, mass marketing. Let me show you how messaging shapes thought, shapes perception. The Cleveland Browns put this out. The Cleveland Browns are the ones who took this photo. The Cleveland Browns are the one who shot Shedeur Sanders doing this. I talked to Boog. This is why I be putting it together like this. I talked to Boog. I said, yo, what went into the mindset of Shedeur Sanders coming back to talk with Todd Monken early? He was on vacation. He was out there doing it. He said, listen, that's always been our thing. That's been our thing. He's done that before. He reported 3, 4, 5 days before camp started last year. And what he did is he hit the ground running. He said, well, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be in the community. I'm going to be doing something. I'm going to high schools doing. He's always started early. So when Todd, he was looking and watching, and they was looking at the screens and they looking at the phones, figuring out who the Browns going to hit. When they said it's Todd Monken, guess what? He said, time for to cut the vacation short. Woo, woo, we out. Woo, 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 we gone. No disrespect to nobody else. But he got on that plane and was like, it's time to get to work. He tweeted that out. So this was orchestrated. This wasn't by chance. It wasn't a mishaps. And if it was, and a lot of people just been debunked in real time because you said, oh, that was well-off media that got that. That wasn't even really the Browns. They kind of caught them off guard. You think they caught them off guard with the general manager and the head football coach with all the Brown helmets and Jim Brown in the background? You think You think that was a coincidence? Psych. You think he didn't say what he said right there? He said what he said right there to prove a point. Now, they did it once. Now Andrew Berry is sitting down on the Cleveland Browns network and they run the same video. They run the same video and do a voiceover over it, so it establishes and it shows you who it is we're trying to attach to who. Bring it back. Let's get to it. It's all about messaging. The messaging is solid. If you would stop being in your feelings, you would be able to pick up what they putting down. Food for thought, you do the dishes.
Individual whose strengths align with what your organization needs in the moment. So we wanted to design a process that allowed us to cast a wide net and ultimately narrow it to the candidates that we felt fit what we were trying to accomplish over.
Felt what we were trying to accomplish. Who's in the picture? Shedeur Sanders. The candidate that fit what we were trying to accomplish. He said he's the coach because he had a vision and could fit what they already had. Keep up.
The next few years. With Todd, we love just his performance track record, what we heard about him with young players. His offensive track record was quite honestly like unprecedented in terms of being on the open market.
Loved with young players, right? I wouldn't classify Deshaun Watson as a young player, would you? I would classify him as a veteran. Todd Monken was brought here because of his track record with what? Young players. Okay, let's keep it going.
Pro, college, mobile quarterbacks, limited quarterbacks, star quarterbacks, air raid system, power run game. It's very rare that you can find a coach that doesn't have a system, but is truly fluid in adapting it to the personnel.
How important, kind of as you went through this, was that shared vision of, you know, here's what the coaching candidate, or in this case, what the coach Todd thinks versus what we think, and how we're going to kind of get that onto the same page and be collaborative to get to that right answer?
This was a sneaky question. The sneaky question was, how much was it? This I'm going to decipher and decode it for you. How much does a coach input matter to get on the same page of who y'all want to play? Because the thought process was the Browns was handcuffing people because they was telling them Shedeur was going to play. They was telling them they wanted to run the defense. They was going to tell them what Jim Schwartz wanted to do. He basically asked him in a really nice way, who running the show? Because before you thought it was collaborative. This is what, see, Andrew Berry's letting you know. See, y'all got it twisted and y'all got in your feelings, got hurt when you said, if Kevin has to go, then Andrew has to go. No, Andrew is Kevin's boss. Ooh-wee, that hit different. You see, you thought they were on the same playing field. And then when Kevin got let go, kind of showed you there was a different pecking order. You see, that hurts your feelings a little bit too. See, G. Bush, you're being touchy right now. So he gonna ask him straight up. Andrew Berry letting him be known, I just hired the coach. The coach got some input, but I'm the dude who chose what the coach was gonna do. I'm the one who's picking the ingredients. I'm gonna let you pick this menu to a certain extent. Let's keep it pushing. I want you to hear the question. What I want you to do is when you come away from this, you come away and look at all them other folks that be putting up this content and say, y'all better catch up. Because we already deciphered, we already comfortable, because the information that we getting, this is the information that you need. See, I could come up here and give you all this extra, but it ain't gonna mean nothing if I ain't got nothing to go with it. You got to, it's cool to have some meat, but you got to have the sides. Where are your side dishes at? Where's your vegetables? You ain't got no starches, no bread, no nothing. Didn't your mom teach you right? You got to have a balanced meal. Y'all dudes do too much bloviating and I think and we think. It ain't enough substance in your meals. I want you to come away from here and be like, yep, he broke all that all the way down. It's 1900 in here. Let's get it going.
But it's truly fluid in adapting it to the personnel.
How important, kind of as you went through this, was that shared vision of, here's what the coaching candidate, or in this case, what the coach Todd thinks versus what we think and how we're going to kind of get that onto the same page and be collaborative to get to that right answer?
I would probably make a comparison to maybe where we were coming out of the 2020 season, where in 2020 when we got here, our biggest priority was surrounding, our young quarterback Baker Mayfield at the time with as much as possible to make sure that the offense could get off the ground.
I don't know. I don't know what better do he got to put it in subtitles or something? He got to put it in closed caption? The man just told you. He asked him all that. He said, yo, how about the collaborate? He said, listen, let me just tell you, let me give you an example. Let me give you an analogy. You see, when we got here in 2020, our goal was to put the most talent around our young quarterback at the time, Baker Mayfield, to put him in the best position to succeed. I don't understand. If you can't catch this one, you're lost in the sauce. If you can't catch this one, you might even be playing naive, or you might need to find another line of work, man, because you can't read between the lines. Talk to him. Bring that back. I'm sorry, I'm going to let it play out.
In 2020, when we got here, our biggest priority was surrounding, our young quarterback Baker Mayfield at the time with as much as possible to make sure that the offense could get off the ground. Now, we had a very patchwork defense at the time, and going into 21, it was obvious to anyone who had any, two eyes watching football where our investments would be. I think we're in a similar spot here. Just
anybody who had eyes and knows football would know that when we came into 2021, we had nothing on defense. We knew that. We knew we had nothing on defense. We was going on offense. I think we're in a similar spot here, just on the opposite end of the ball. So all of you guys, I'm sorry I'm killing your draft boards. I know I'm killing it. I know. Because I was going to do a show on why you guys need to stop telling me about Caleb Downs and Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain and Bailey and all these great defensive linemen that you want. Listen, I was going to let you cook. I know it's a long offseason, but the reality of the situation is anybody who's anybody that's worth their salt, he said it, that watches football understands where the resources shall be put. And this year, it shall be put on the offensive side of the ball.
With the opposite sides of the ball. So that, question is less candidate specific. Anyone we talked to understood
Sure.
that made the most sense. So there was probably very little time in terms of okay, where.
By the way, let me just tell you and break this down for you. In this video, understand that they could have picked any highlights they wanted to. They could have picked any highlights they wanted to in the year. There were no highlights of Myles Garrett. There were no highlights of Grant Delpit. There were no highlights of Denzel Ward. There were no highlights of any of them dudes. I was asked on UCSS the other day, who's going to benefit the most from Todd Monken's system? I said boldly, Isaiah Bond and Shedeur Sanders. Notice how out of all the Isaiah Bond made the highlight tape. Bring it back. Isaiah Bond's on the highlight tape. You're gonna see. You seen Shedeur. You seen. You gonna see all of the. You gonna get it. Watch the young guys. Watch
our
them.
investments would be. I think we're in a similar spot here, just with the opposite sides of the ball. So that, question is less candidate specific. Anyone we talked to understood
Sure.
that made the most sense. So there was probably very little time in terms of okay, where are we actually going to invest our resources this offseason?
All right, so now you've got Todd. You guys are ready to get going. What's kind of the message to the fans? You've talked about kind of where this team is.
Message to the fans, listen up. Media, listen up. He told you, There's a reason they write this script like this. Remember what I told you about messaging. Messaging is intentional. He's shown you who he's high on. He's shown you why he picked the coach. He's shown you the guys who the highlights and move around. He's telling you what we're going to do. And by the way, he's also at the end putting a bow on it and saying, here's the message to the fans. What do you want us to know behind the scenes so you ain't got to be listening to all of this conspiracy theory? You ain't got to be listening to the guys that said all of it. Watch what he tell you. Watch what he tell you.
But listen, everybody wants winning football. What's kind of your message to the fans about what they can expect over the next few months? We talked about that critical 120 days, right, Jimmy? Talked about to getting this team ready to be on the grass and get playing this fall.
Yeah, I think it's really two things. I think in the immediate term, we're going to hire the best coaching staff that we possibly can. Todd mentioned earlier today, it's not just about one person, but it's about the players and the staff that you put around your central decision makers. We're looking forward to investing in this offensive roster and the amount of flexibility that we're provided both from a resource standpoint and due to Todd's background, we're excited about the different possibilities and the different avenues we can go. And a lot of what we think through and what we talk through will be reflective of that.
Let me raise my hat a little bit. Did he say he was going for best player available? Did he tell you? Did he say that he was getting 5 defensive linemen? You know what he said? Offense. Harold Fanning Jr. So if you want to know, just let you know. You want to know who they feel like they playmakers are? You want to feel like who Todd Monken thinks that he's going to accentuate? If you want to know who you think they're going to spot shadow, if you want to know exactly who they think that they may have something that can develop to get to certain places, just watch the tape and then watch how they put the marketing together. Because always remember, there is somebody that is an Ivy League person that's in analytics, but they got an Ivy League person in PR too. They got an Ivy League person in marketing. They got an Ivy League level person that's coming from corporate, coming from retail, coming from wherever. You think they ain't got the best of the best doing that too? They put it all together so you can understand what we're talking about. And if you would catch up and get out your way, you would understand how we gonna move. But it's okay. You ain't got to tell them nothing. Just tell them, send them over to the barbershop. Send them over here. Send them over here. We'll educate them. It ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. 2,069 people. It ain't for everybody. I'm sorry. Some people is just not able to catch what we putting down. And every single weekend, I give you something, right? Here we go. I'm gonna let him finish it off.
Right, Jimmy talked about to getting this team ready to be on the grass and get playing this fall.
Yeah, I think it's really two things. I think in the immediate term, we're going to hire the best coaching staff that we possibly can. Todd mentioned earlier today, it's not just about one person, but it's about the players and the staff that you put around your central decision makers. We're looking forward to investing in this offensive roster and the amount of flexibility that we're provided both from a resource standpoint and due to Todd's background, we're excited about the different possibilities and the different avenues we can go. And a lot of what we think through and what we talk through will be reflective of that.
Boy, let's get to you. Let's get to you some of your comments, man. We got to get to them because right now it's a lot of people. I mean, do we have to? We don't have to spell that out, right? I thought he did a good job of just telling you what it was, right? Here we go. Patrick Williams. Cleveland media thinks they can get a quarterback without development, and they're going from last to first. Every quarterback got developed. That's the problem I be having a little bit too, because the pendulum has swung way too far. The pendulum swung to now, man, I'm be honest with you, bro. It's a lot of these dudes, man. No disrespect. There's a lot of dudes be getting these microphones, bro. I'd be like, I don't know how you got them, but this thought process that you're gonna go out here and you're on quarterback dating, like you when I make the analogy of you want to be a quarterback dater, is because to this point, when you've been this bad for this long, people have got addicted to the endorphins of talking. It's almost like a drug. You see, statistics will show you when you're on social media, people are addicted to scrolling. Why do you think Instagram is so devastating? I'm not any different. I'm a human just like everybody else. See, but what Instagram does is after a while, you start to see all these folks and you be like, man, you see one woman and you be like, man, that woman's a 10. Then all of a sudden, there's 1,000 women on there that's a 10. You don't know you don't know that they don't look like that in real life. And you don't know that they either have to be miserable to get one picture right out of the millions, or it's fake, or it don't even add up to nothing. And then you look on there, if it's not that, it's people on there telling you how they got rich quick, how they winning. Regular people, I got 9 streams of income. I sit on my butt all day and don't do nothing. You scrolling, they got boats, cars. You like, dang, bro, am I losing? Am I taking an L in life? You got families looking around. The family photos. The mom looked great. The dad looked great. The kids is dressed up. They taking videos talking about this, where our vacations is. You looking at your family like, man, my family a little dysfunctional. Something's going wrong with my family. I was arguing with my wife the other day. My kids is having trouble in school. They need a tutor. I got some health issues. Then you scroll up to the left and you're looking around. Then it's 17 people getting in fights, baiting each other. You see people talking about racial topics and you get mad like, I can't believe they did that. You scroll to the left, you see 17 wars. You're like, dang, bro, is life really messed up like that? You come away, it's 5 hours later, and you realize you've been in front of that phone the whole time, watching cat memes, mindless gibberish. And you know what? You come away feeling a little bit dirty, but you come away feeling a little intrigued, but then you come away feeling a little sad or disheartened, but then then guess what? The next day, you know what you choose to do? When life gets too tough, let's scroll. When I get anxious, let's scroll. When I get hungry, let's scroll. When I don't want to talk or communicate, let's scroll. When I'm bored, let's scroll. Then you end up being a person who used to laugh at people that used to sit at the table and scroll and search, but all of a sudden, you that person. It's just like quarterbacks. You think that every quarterback can heal your dreams. You think every quarterback, that if you get a franchise quarterback, everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. They'll wipe the tears away from your eyes. They'll beat the Steelers. They'll get to the Super Bowl. Everything in Cleveland be fine. And we got a franchise quarterback. But you don't even realize that y'all so stupid that if you had a franchise quarterback sitting right in front of your face, you wouldn't even know what it looked like. Because you would always be scrolling, looking at something else, the next best thing. Yeah, my wife is a 9, but that girl on the Instagram, she a 10 though. That's a dream. You chasing a myth. You chasing a fantasy, bro. See, you like the idea of a franchise quarterback more than you want one. You love the idea of touchdowns and the golden boy and the shining armor. The reality of this situation is a lot of the people that sit up here talk about we ain't been good since Bernie Kosar. Let me just tell you this. A lot of people that said we ain't been good since Bernie Kosar was the same people that told Bernie he should have been gone. Bernie Kosar wasn't that likable, and people didn't like him at the end of his career. But guess what? When you look back at it, hindsight 2020, after you then came a long way and figured out what life was about and figured out it was always greener, now all of a sudden you hailed. See, sometimes you could be before your time. Sometimes what you saying may not hit right then, but it always gonna hit different when you go back and look at it, if it's real, if it's put on a foundation. So this quarterback conversation is your dopamines. It feels good to talk about a quarterback because you have a wrapped up false idea of what a quarterback is and how he's going to come change everything in your life. But you got to understand, you got to develop a quarterback. You got to put things around a quarterback. You got to have a good offensive line. You got to have a coach that's willing to do something. And everybody got to do their own part individually and then still gets lucky to get where you are. And the problem is the Seattle Seahawks. They had Sam Darnold. He was a reclamation project. But guess what? It showed you. Where was Josh Allen at? Home. Where was Joe Burrow at? Home. Where was Justin Herbert at? The crib. Where was Lamar Jackson at? He was at the crib too. All your favorites. How many Super Bowls Dak Prescott done won? Huh? None. I find it ironic that all you guys is looking for quarterbacks, and all the quarterbacks that was franchise quarterbacks, half their coaches got fired. Turns out you got to put your own work in here around here, homie. Just keep it up. I was a little long-winded, but I'm just saying. William Wise. People just using their head for a hat rack. Right, it's just up there to put these hot fitteds on. Yeah, I got me another hot fitted. Yeah, them $60 live trips. Stapper Daddy. They really just want Sanders gone. The fact that the media is trying to bring Deshaun Watson back from the grave lets me know that they don't know what they're talking about even a little bit. Barry is running the best PR run right now in the streets. Hey, right now, his press run is crazier than the Clips. That Clips press run was crazy. Matter of fact, J. Cole's press run is kind of crazy. Selling CDs out your trunk, it was kind of pulling up in the Honda Civic, the old Honda Civic, that's kind of wild. But this press run, I'm going to keep it real. The press run that AB is on right now, he dropping them strategically too. I said, bro, it was a midnight release. I said, whoa. AB did an interview? Remember they was talking before, why is AB not talking he's not talking during the offseason. He's not talking remember the bye week when Stefanski just let Stefanski stay out there and Andrew Barry was like, man, I'm cool. I got some things I'm doing. He's strategically dropping jewels now. He catching y'all boys slipping. Notice this too. This is why listen. I welcome all people, media members. Come on over here and get these jewels. I want you to be informed. I don't want you out there swimming. I don't want you out there swimming. Come on in here and get this knowledge. Y'all notice something too, right? Y'all notice this, right? I ain't never seen a 5-win team have so many interviews. When the last time you seen a 5-win team have interviews like this? All type of interviews. Myles Garrett is on the Tonight Show. He all out in the Olympics. Shout out to your girl too. Shout out to her bringing that medal home. Myles Garrett out there with the big camera. Listen, come on. Denzel Ward is cooking. Shelby Harris is doing press runs. Coach Prime doing press runs. Boog out in the street doing press runs. Shiloh got blogs. Shedeur put everybody in their place. We might have to get to that too. We're going to get to that. Shedeur put some people in. This is one of them episodes, man. Y'all might want to rewind this. He put some people in their place. Stop calling my people cult members. Notice, it seemed like everybody was buttoned up a little bit. Don't it seem like everybody crisp? The answers is all coinciding. Don't it seem like they didn't had a meeting or two? They playful with it. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? They playful. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. DK_Skull, Cleveland Media don't want brothers AB and Shedeur to be saviors. They'll then have to admit AB's 3D chess game and 12 swords play. Man, the same people can't accept the woolly hair, brown skin Jesus. Oh, that was tough. Yeah. I love Jesus. Jesus can be I don't care what color he could be, purple or brown. Or, shout out to Jesus, Lord and Savior. But I tell you this. They've been out here telling you. It's time for y'all to move, pivot, start talking about some receivers and linemen. I know it's boring. I know quarterback gets more clicks. I know it, but come on, guys. Just letting you know. CG, this is why we mess with you. Ben Scott, I thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know, I'm trying to deliver that energy. It's all good, y'all. The cost of Linderbaugh, Vera Tucker, Jenkins combined would cost $5 million less than Willis. Thank you. This is what we be talking about. I don't like when people. I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't like. I don't like when people is throwing stuff out there, knowing good and well it's not possible. Like, I don't like doing that because there's a lot of people that some people will take what we saying, and I have to watch myself because I could throw some things out there just to be just be funny, and I know that's not gonna really happen. But there are people that watch that may not be as in the weeds as me or other people. So they might allow G. Bush through that topic out. It really wasn't there. I can't afford to do that. That's why I do film review over here. I like to educate people and let them know this is what it is. So it's too much misinformation out here. You can't play today. Like you used to be able to play with little topics back in the day, but you can't do that no more because people got AI out here. You don't know what the difference between real and fake is. So I'm not going to play around and tell you, oh, we can go get Malik Willis when I know what the financials look like. My mom and dad never played with me. They never told me like, oh, we'll see next week. Yeah, some parents will be like, I want these shoes. And they said, we'll see next week. Knowing good and well, they ain't got it in the budget. And so next week come, you done did everything you trying to do. You think you getting them kicks just to be disappointed. My people's never told them that. They used to dash that in a heartbeat. My mom used to be like, oh, you the oldest. She put me on a different type of time. She used to show me how much my dad made. She used to show me. And then she used to take me in the car and we used to go around and pay all the bills, all of them. And you know what it did? It stopped me from going to my dad because I knew how hard he worked. It stopped me from going to my dad asking for stuff that was outside of the means that he had. Because it made me feel bad. Because I'm like, it's summer, we riding around, we spending the money that this dude is working at. We got to go back to work to get him some lunch. And we do paying bills. So I'm like, bro, this dude is still at work. He still got to finish the day. And when he come home, he ain't going to have no bread. What did he have to show for it? So it stopped me from asking about stupid stuff because I knew what it was. That's why I had to have a job in the summer, right? I had to. Like I couldn't because I couldn't do it. I'm like, bro, if you want that, you got to go work for it and go get it. So my thing is, I'm not about to sit up here and amp these people up, talk about, yeah, we're going to get Malik Willis, we're going to cut Watson, and then we're still going to have a bunch of money left over to get. No, you're not. You're not. Quit it. You should stop doing that. That is not it. Osadero 5089, the irrational privilege is on display every time they advocate the fired owner. Must be nice to feel like you had that power. Wild word. I don't play none of them. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. That's the wildest work to me. How you gonna tell that man how he gonna move with his family business legacy? He can do anything he want to. He paying everybody's salary, all of them. What are you talking about? That'd be crazy. I run the Barbershop. I run Fifth Dimension Media. If it ain't my parents or my wife that's saying something, I'm calling all the shots. You might not like it. Like, you might be upset. But this is my business. This is how I'm moving. if I feel like that, how am I going to tell a person that's running a Fortune 500 company that's employing, giving people generational life? He making generations of your family, these folks, rich. You think he ain't going to have to say? Listen, I'm sorry, bro. Listen, I can't call it. I come from, there's the problem. I come from corporate America. Like, I had regular jobs. I understand what's going on. I come from that. So I know how corporations operate. It's like saying the CEO gets to do what? Of course. Ain't got nothing to do with me. That's above your pay grade, sir. You need to find out how you gonna maximize your utility and get what you need to get about this game. Because you throwing rocks at the moon ain't gonna get it done. Stop. I got something else for you. Coming back. Coming up in a moment. I'm going to get to this. Shedeur Sanders did something. And you could tell he done flipped the page on these folks. He done flipped the page on them. He's starting to come out. He ain't playing no kid games. See, sometimes you get, when you grow and you mature, he's starting to already show how he matured. I'll tell you when he's coming back after we get to this. Speaking of, if you want this, make sure you check out. Make sure you check it out, Bushline Beauty. We got all of the outfits. We got this hoodie right here. We got all kind of, we got North Face. We got Under Armour. We got Adidas. We got all them joints. If you want to get part of this game, let me see. Let me get you one of these. Get you one of these. Let me pull. I should have already had it up here. I'm just being slow today. I will, I get distracted sometime. But one thing that you got to understand here is, we do it all. We show you Nike a lot. We show you Nike a lot. But there you go. There's the Adidas. You see it in there. We're the only people doing it like this. I don't know. You tell me, babe. Does any other host have gear? No, they don't. Does any other host have? We can ship it to the house too. We ship it right to your house. It's right to the house. Hey, reach out to the fellas. Reach out to the folks on the internet. We don't play around. Reach out to the folks on the internet. That thing go right to your house. Listen, we might be about 99% satisfaction when it comes to and by the way, we ain't had no complaints. We 99% satisfaction. We get it done. Make sure you check that out, man. We'll link it. There's that Under Armour. It's fly gear too, bro. We got different colors. We got different shapes. But you know how we give it up over here. Make sure you check that out, bushlinebeauty.com. And by the way, for members, check the members only tab in the YouTube. Go to members only if you're a YouTube member. Go to members only tab, and we got your code word, 20% off non-branded Barbershop and Kool-Aid Mafia gear right now at bushlinebeauty.com. I got to get to this before I get to the last Shedeur Sanders story, so to stick around. Don't go anywhere. I did some digging on this one, and the Cleveland Cavaliers might have really dodged a bullet on this Darius Garland thing, right? They may dodge a bullet on this Darius Garland thing. I'm going to read an article from Terry Pluto that kind of goes into the rationale because it's something that came out from the Clippers. But I had Greg Schwartz of the Bleacher Report on yesterday, and we talked about what he thought went into this move, and he broke down some things about this contract situation that I don't think people has been talking about. So make sure you check that interview out. That's up as well. Take a look at this clip that we did yesterday.
I don't think anyone except for the inner circle of Darius Garland and James Harden knew this trade was even remotely possible until the week of the trade deadline. I was very surprised that it went down. James Harden was not a guy that I foresaw ending up on the Cavaliers at the beginning of the season. It would not have shocked me to have heard that Darius Garland would have been traded, but I did not think a swap with James Harden was going to happen. I was surprised at the trade. I'm still not a giant fan of the trade from someone who's been following James Harden since he was with Oklahoma City. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I was shocked at the trade and not a fan of it overall.
All right, well, here we go. Listen, this is why we do it. You thought I was going to bring somebody over here that was going to be, he's going to agree with G, but no. I like the trade. We'll talk to Greg Schwartz. We'll get into the insides and outs of it. But let's get to Rich Paul said this, and he was with Max Kellerman, and we'll let him tell it. He knew what this was going to be his last year before it happened.
Coming season, I sat Darius down, and I explained to him, I was like, this is going to be your last year on the Cavs. Very matter-of-factly, because I do things very black and white. I said, that's just the way it's going to be for a number of reasons that it take too long to get into, but that's just my foresight. And I also had the conversation with Kobe Altman, who runs the Cavs. And I said, Kobe, listen, this is what it's going to be. I understand it. The hopes is they go out and they play a great year and they try to contend and then anything short of a championship run, there has to be a change.
Because there's redundancy on the right. By the way, and that redundancy.
So Rich Paul says that, and he says for a number of different reasons, but he doesn't say what they were. So this could have been a number of things. Number one, Darius Garland would have been extension eligible this summer. He would have got 2 years remaining on his contract. He's on a max deal, but it was signed a couple years ago, so it's not quite as much as the Evan Mobley max deal, the Donovan Mitchell max deal right now. He's still at $39 million. So I wonder if Kobe and Rich had conversations already about we want a max extension. Maybe the Cavs weren't quite as eager to do that. I don't know, but I'm saying he would have been extension eligible this summer. And with two guys under 30% max deals already, that's a lot. And if you look around the league with the second apron restrictions, teams cannot support three max guys. The Phoenix Suns tried it last year with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. It did not go well. They didn't make the playoffs. And what happened? They traded Kevin Durant. They waived Bradley Beal, who they're now going to be paying $20 million to over the next 5 years to not play for them. Teams have a real fear of the second apron. And unless your superstars, the guys that you're paying max contracts to, are top 10 players, you are going to maximum have two on your roster. You're just not going to have three. So I think it was more of we don't think this is sustainable. We looked at the way the season ended last year with Darius hurt, and we don't have the resources to commit this kind of money to. We don't want to stay in the second apron long term. The Cavs already have their 2033 pick frozen where they can't trade it. Now they have to spend 3 of the next 4 years out of the second apron to unfreeze that pick, and they don't want to face all these other restrictions. So I think there's a number of reasons. Obviously, he didn't say it, but in this day and age, in the NBA's second apron, having three max guys probably isn't sustainable long term.
We're in the air about Darius. We like him. We like our core forward, but we might have hit our ceiling. And then the Donovan Mitchell elephant is in the room, which is Donovan Mitchell is on another timetable, which I think the timetable for him is I got to win championships. I'm getting old quick. And do you think those things kind of playing in the role of the Cavs thinking of, okay, well, we might have to make a move here?
You hit the nail on the head right there. Donovan Mitchell. That's what this franchise is all about right now. This isn't about James Harden. This isn't about Evan Mobley as much as the Cavs have wanted it to be over the last couple of years. It's still about Donovan Mitchell, who's a top 10 player in the NBA, having arguably the best season of his career. And what did we do 2 years ago? It was, is Donovan Mitchell going to sign the extension? Is he going to request a trade? He ended up signing an extension, but it gave him a lot of flexibility where now going into next season, he's only going to have one guaranteed year left on his deal. So he can opt out after year 10. He can command that 35% max contract if he wants to, 5 years, around $380 million. Is that the kind of money that the Cavs want to invest in a guard who, he's strong, but he's a smaller guard. He's not a 6'5", 6'6" guard. And we've seen guys teams commit big money to smaller guards. Outside of Steph Curry, it usually doesn't end well. So this is them wanting Donovan to sign the extension now, whether it's 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is. They can still sign him at a comfortable number where it's like 4 years, $270. It's a little bit less than if they go into unrestricted free agency with him, where he's under contract for $67-ish million a year, which is a lot of money, but that's not as much as he can make on the open market. So they want to keep Donovan happy. They want to get him signed to an extension this summer when he can sign it where he's got the one guaranteed year left on his deal. He can extend for 4 more years. And this is turning up the pressure on the organization to say, hey, we're making this move for this year. We want to get you past the second round, a place you've never been before. We are all in for a title. We are sacrificing our future with a 26-year-old Darius Garland for a 36-year-old who is the better player right now. We're doing all we can to win you a championship this season.
Now, shout out to Greg Schwartz for pulling up, and shout out for him to coming on the channel. And if you want to check out that full interview, make sure you do it. It'll be on the Barbershop on our Cavs playlist. But let's talk about this too. So article comes out, and accompanied with that. So you hear Greg talk about, hey, Rich Paul and Darius Garland want another deal. You hear him say, hey, listen, it's a timetable for Donovan Mitchell. Terry Pluto has this article, right, that kind of brings it all together. And Terry Pluto says there's new information that adds context to the Cavs trade for James Harden. And it goes on to say, when the Cavs first made the James Harden trade, I had major doubts. As time has passed, I can see more of the Cavs thinking. I think the Cavs had to do something now, which was trading Darius Garland to the LA Clippers for 36-year-old James Harden. It's not simply because Harden is playing so well in the games, all wins, which he is playing very well since the trade. It's more about the information that just came out about Darius Garland. So I'm like, okay, let me check this out. What are we talking about right here? Right? He goes on to say, Clippers president Lawrence Frank said the Clippers will change Garland's injury designation to reflect the right foot toe sprain that has kept him out for nearly 4 weeks as healed, while Garland's still sore, surgically repaired toe will keep him out indefinitely. Indefinitely? Yes, as in the Clippers won't even publicly say when Garland will be back. That's another reason I had to reconsider my comments on the trade. I thought his recent foot problems were due to the toe on his right big toe, the one that wasn't surgically repaired last summer. Yes, that right toe was a problem, but it's the left toe. Remember, it's the left toe that he hurt last year against the Pacers. It's the left toe that kept him out against the Miami Heat. It's the left toe he had surgery on, and it's the left toe that's been still giving him problems, right? And Murray also wrote, we are going to manage this correctly, okay? This is what the Clippers president said. We're going to manage this correctly, okay? We are not going to skip any steps because we think the short-term investment will lead to longer-term rewards. We're going to get it right and take it as long as it takes. But we're very confident by taking the time now, it's going to give him a long runway. He's only 26, and we want to see him playing at a high level for a long time. Garland has not played since January 14th. Let me tell you something. That's the smoking gun right there. People was talking about it, and the reason I brought this up is because I speculated and I talked about this for weeks. You are a smallish guard who uses your athleticism to get to the rim to do certain things. The fact that they said his big toe is healed on his right foot, which we thought that was the reason was keeping him out, but has indefinitely put him on the sidelines for his left toe that's surgically repaired, tells me all I need to know. It tells me all I need to know in terms of what was going on. And then take a look at these statistics that kind of really point to what the Cavs were thinking about. You take a look at it. You follow the money. Darius Garland was going to get $39 million in 25-26, $42 million the next year, 27-28, $44 million. You take a look at Harden's contract. He was only going to be due $39 million this year, and then next year, $42 million, which $13 million is only guaranteed. So the numbers and the money look a lot better. Do they not? Yes, it does. And then you talk about the play on the court, which I think really, really gets to a point as well. In 2023, the Cavs were 31-26 with Darius Garland. They were 17-8 when he was out. In 2025-26, the Cavs were 13-13 record with Darius Garland and 18-8 without him. This season, the Cavs ranked 5th in defensive efficiency when Garland wasn't on the court. They were 25 when he did play. Defensively, some analytic sites ranked Garland in the bottom 8% of the entire league. Coach Kenny Atkinson was at a tough spot. He was playing Garland knowing the Cavs were a significantly better team when he was not on the court this season. And that includes also the rationale for trading DeAndre Hunter. They were a worse team when he played. So you take a look at it. It makes a lot of sense to me. It makes a lot of sense in terms of what's going on with the Cavs, why they made a move, why they had to move for Harden. Because I'm going to just be honest with you. If you look at it, it looks like during that situation, Darius Garland was not going to be playing. As a matter of fact, you was going to see a bunch more of this just sitting around. Donovan Mitchell's face knows that this man had big toe issues. And this was not going to be something that was going to end tomorrow or the next day. This was something that may nag and keep in the way from him getting back on the court immediately. So for all the people that don't like the Harden move and they talk about 26 versus 36, I'm just giving you a little context as to why they did it. You, food for thought, you do the dishes. There you go. Let's get to this as we continue on our party train here. Let's get to this. Shedeur Sanders said something the other day. I talked to Boog about it. And it hit different a little bit. We talked about it. And it was these comments. Let me play this video. He talked about why he just don't like a certain, he don't like the way things be set up. I don't like the way you said that. I like it. Let's take a look at this. Now, this was during an interview that he had. And I think as we watch this interview, I'll let it watch in its entirety so you guys can catch it out and you guys can check it. I'm going to let you watch it in its entirety. Because I feel like he's really coming around to a point where he got a different demeanor. He got a different pep in his step. The way he answered the question seems a little different. The way he's being more demonstrative, the way he's being more exact, intentional with his words, shows that he's not going to play around this year. It shows a level of focus and understanding of what we need to do to get to a place you need to get to and how you're not going to let people play games this year. Take a look at this conversation. And I expect this to have a trickle-down situation. See, it's a lot of people get comfortable in the industry talking about the word, his followers and his supporters. But he came out, and I like how he stood on business. Don't play like that. Words mean things. Don't play, because when you start saying stuff about people, what it means is now you can kind of shift it in your mind. Oh, well, these ain't real people. Oh, no. Yeah. That's how you talk. Boy, first and foremost, start by saying this. Like, he really stood on business, because first and foremost, we all profess, and let me just keep it weird. Sometimes let me say this. There are times where I used to say, we used to laugh and joke and say cult, right? Like, oh, that person's in a cult. That person is in a cult, right? But as you mature and as you get older, you start to realize that certain words have certain meanings and context. And you grow and you grow up and you start to understand that you have to choose your words wisely, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. And at no point in time do I want to be mentioned in any cult. Like, I'm a born-again Christian. That's what I am. That's how I move. There's no cult nowhere near next to me. I don't even associate with them words. I don't swear on certain things. I don't do that, because I feel like that's not representative of what I'm supposed to be. So I got to stay next, all the way over here. Second thing is understanding that if you can group a lot of different people in an umbrella, if you can group them and you can use different words to demean them, that you can use different words to degrade them, you can use different words to marginalize them, then it makes it easier for the next step to take process. Now, instead of you saying it's a cult, now you feel you justified in saying other stuff, right? It's a slippery slope. If you justified in saying that, you might be justified in actions next time. Or now I'm justified in my actions and then I could do certain. Nah, bro, we not going to do that. We not going to play that. So I believe what happens is you start to grow and mature and you start to understand. You seeing a person that's coming into the realization. You see his demeanor is different. You see the focus is different. He said basically, you're not going to talk about my people like that. Y'all think y'all can get that out? Like even watch this. Even to a certain extent, the word Shedeurians is going to be gone in a minute, because he's telling you right now, do not there are people who view him as a family member. That's my family. That's my peoples. I'm his auntie. I'm his uncle. I'm a nephew. I'm a niece. I'm a son. I'm a brother. You can't call my brother a cult member. What's wrong with you, bro? You can't call my mom or my grandma no cult member. What are you talking about? Like, how you even comfortable getting that off? And that's the energy he coming with, bro. You can't call somebody, can't call nobody that I associate with in the cult. It is what it is. It's dismissive. It's disrespectful. And he able to feel like that. And I'm glad he went to the definition of it, because what we need to do is learn how to use words to disarm people. He said, you using the word, well, let me go to the dictionary. And by the end of the conversation, he said, yeah, a loyal fan base would probably be a better word. I'm sure it would. Yeah, I think that's a much better taste. He just is. But I think what he's doing is, and I commend it. See, sometimes when you go through stuff, you mature, you understand. Everything that he went through with the media last year has given him the ability to then now understand how I need to act and move forward accordingly. The Rex Ryan stuff changed the way he thinks about stuff. The backwards hat things changed the way he think about stuff. The fact that they said, do you denounce your father, changed the way you think about stuff. How they talked about you and lied about you, and frankly, they was lies. And now it's, oh, just forget about that. Just forget, that never happened. No, he remembered that. So now, I don't think it's coincidence. Let me just get to this. Let me just get to it. I'm gonna let y'all know, I'm just giving them a heads up. I want to give you a heads up. So if y'all run across Prime or something, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. Don't do it. Prime ain't gonna play with you. He not gonna play with you. I could tell the energy is just different.
Time last year we had Shedeur on the show. He was excellent. Yeah. We really liked him.
It didn't help. It didn't help in the draft when you had him on the show last year this time. It didn't help. So you probably was the one that killed him. Did you sabotage my son? Because it didn't help.
I tried my
and
best.
Nothing you did
I tried my best to help.
You just told me he was kind. He was wonderful.
He shook everybody's hand.
Yeah.
I tweeted it.
But you didn't tell that to nobody. Huh?
Yes,
you
I
kept
did.
it a secret.
Yes, I did. I did. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Nobody saw it.
I spread the good word of how kind Shedeur Sanders was.
But you let the whole world lie on him.
I tried.
Did you notice all that stuff just kind of just went away? So you agreed that it was slander?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was horrendous. It was horrendous.
It was character assassination. Yeah. I think that.
So it's okay for me to feel some type of way about the NFL. You would understand.
I without a doubt.
There you go.
There were things that were said about Shedeur.
There was lies that were told.
I'm just letting y'all know. If y'all run across Prime and Shedeur this year, it may be a little different. Y'all might want to tighten up, dog. Tighten up, fam. Prime ain't letting stuff say. They didn't listen. Because they said, "Oh, okay. I see how. Yeah. No. Don't give me a hug. Do not touch my body. Nope. Stay over there. I am a child of God. I will love you from afar. But the Bible never said I had to be friendly with you. I just got to love you. I got to hang out with you though. You stay over there. Yeah, I might want to tighten up, bro. The conversation a little different. Don't come up here playing with that word. Nah, respect my peoples. Respect my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Guys, find another word. Loyal fan base, supporters works, his team, his community, his you can say followers because people do follow him on social media, but but there's a lot of other words you can use to get that together. I just don't think the word. I'm not even gonna say it on this joint no more. I'm not gonna tell you what you've been saying, but just let you know, tighten up. The communication is different. Communication is different. And you thought I was the receipts guy. Yeah. Hey, don't let them be good. By the way, here's what the scary part. Don't be good in 2026. Don't be good in 2026. Actually, to be truthful, that's half the energy. Let me just, before we get to these super chats, that's half of what people be talking about. The problem with this is the energy is a lot of people are going to say, how are we going to do this if this dude actually is good? And I done said all of this stuff. Because, I mean, you outside it in intent with no coat on in the middle of winter, camping out by Lake Erie. You out there, think about it. Back in the day, they didn't have to do nothing crazy to you. They didn't have to physically harm you. Like when you did something that was like outside of the pocket, when you did something that was offensive to the entire community, when you did something that was like, bro, you not only committed an infraction against you, your family, everybody, the community, you know what they did back in the day? They didn't put they didn't put your hands on you like that. If you was lucky, they just publicly shamed you, just messed your name up. Your name is mud in the streets. If you got too bad, you got exiled. Think about that. Exile back in the day was devastating. You living in prehistoric times. There's wild animals out there. It get dark at 5, 6 o'clock. It's cold. It's hot during the day. You need to find water by yourself. You usually hunt in packs of people, right? Some were maybe farmed, some hunted, some was warriors. How you gonna fend for yourself? That's why exile was almost worse than death, because there were so many ways you could get messed up outside if you got excommunicated out of the community. So half these people be thinking about, but I tell them just get back to the work. Just get back to the work of presenting listen, the Browns tent is big enough for a lot of people. But just get back to what brought it to that. It's football and talking about the other stuff. But if you stay on this track, you don't want to get excommunicated you don't want to get driven out right when we popping. We about to be popping. That's why I don't understand it. How is it that you're a Browns fan, but you mad that they talk about the Browns? How is it that you're a Browns fan, but you mad that one person is bringing light to your team, bringing light to your city, getting interviews, listen, they bringing light to your content, bringing light to what you're doing, bringing a spotlight to what the city is. And you don't like it? That's crazy, bro. What kind of ego you got to have to think that, like, guys, we just bloggers, man. We dudes with microphones. We don't add nothing to the game. We don't tackle nobody. We don't shoot baskets. We ain't even that cute. We don't look that good. We getting older by the day. Ain't nothing we said saving nobody. And you think that you the draw? You're not the draw. You just lucky to be in the magnet, in the rotation. And if you smart enough, your little rotations around the sun will be much better if you get rid of your ego. I only got, man, listen, statistics say, I'm 44 years old, man. Statistics say that means I done lived almost 54, 55% of my life is already behind me. Y'all spend this type of time in your last 44% hating? What you trying to prove? Ain't nothing. You done. Maybe it's just me. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to these super chats. Well, let me get to this. No, let me play this. I got one. Let me see. I got one. I want to play this. Make sure I get to it. Hold on. We're going to get to our hotline. If you didn't know, we have a hotline. We have a call-in line for our members. We got to make sure we get that in here. Almost forgot. Let me get to this. Let me see. Let's get to our first hotline call. Let's see what we got.
Yo, this is Mike from DC, aka Pitboy. G. Bush. I'm glad you're doing brother. Look, ain't nobody scared of competition. That's the key word, competition. You have a fresh start, new coach, new playbook, and an opportunity for everybody to start off at the line at the same time. And may the best man win. But last year, the books was cooked, and I think that's what everybody's a little jaded about. But new year, new coach, new beginning. Yo, this is Mike.
Hey, I appreciate you, Mike. And I like what you're talking about with that, Mike. Man, if you want to get on the show, hit us up. We put the voicemail up. The voicemail is in our YouTube members tab. We give our question of the week. Y'all answer it. We put it on the show. I threw the question out. I said, bro, why everybody thinking that we scared of competition? What is the conversation about we scared of competition? Nobody is scared about competition. Who's scared about competition? You confusing that people is upset that you lied about the competition last year? That you said it was a competition last year, but you didn't abide by that's what don't get it twisted. We been knew how this was moving. Come on now. Let's get to another one.
Hey, G. Bush, glad you're back. It's Hank, hashtag New Cleveland. This may be one of 3 or 4, I don't know. But I think it's comical that they believe that Shedeur Sanders wants to be handed anything. He was never handed anything. He always came out and played the best, showed up when it was needed, especially in pressurized moments. Just look at his stats in college.
You take a look at it, man. I don't understand what make like this thing where people, and these are Shedeur followers. So y'all stop the narrative that, the Shedeur followers just want him handed something. Stop it. I don't know who you're listening to because we ain't nobody over here ever duck no smoke. Matter of fact, you would know we didn't duck no smoke when we took on 4 or 5 people and the coach. And what it do? So nobody is ducking smoke. Nobody is sitting here trying to tell you Shedeur should be doing. No. That's not what we're doing. We're not going to do that. Let's get to these super chats. Let me see. Levitt6 says, AB spelled it out, but they still can't accept that AB move players so 12 can play. I don't know what to tell them. He done spelled it out twice. K-Journey, you funny. You crazy. You crazy. Here's some other quarterback options. Big Bird, Kermit, Elmont, Seinfeld, Oprah, Inspector Gadget, Nemo. Nemo is the shortest quarterback, and he can only play in water and wet, rainy conditions. Are all better options than 12 according to them. The masks are showing it. I don't think they care. They don't care. They don't care. Cousin G. Bush, you know they had ODD. Oppositional defiance disorder. Miss Bell says AB was All-American DB, highly educated. This is redemption time for him. He'd be a fool not to build around and go with Shedeur Sanders. Playoff bound. Playoff bound. Black Angus, G. Bush. Who said Kevin Stefanski ever developed while he was here? Schwartz took a busted pick and Devin Bush and transformed him. What player on our offense has ever been developed? They needed to plug and play. Facts. This is the crazy thing about it. They sit there and they big up what Kevin Stefanski was doing, but always talking about Kevin needs a franchise quarterback. Kevin needs a up. Bro, Kevin need to work and get him and develop him a franchise quarterback. What kind of Goldilocks syndrome is this? Kevin deserves it. No. If we had a franchise quarterback, we don't need Kevin Stefanski. What are you talking about? Kevin needs to. This is the thing. This is what happens when you start elevating people you like over the actual. Come on, bro. Guys, you now just getting over the fact Kevin ain't coming back. Y'all still sitting there waiting at the door like the golden retriever. Your owner ain't coming back, dog. Better get used to it. Looking around, always looking back. Maybe they're going to come back. And no, I'm not mentioning. Hold on. Let me stop you before you say this. I'm not calling you any names. I didn't say you were people waiting for people. You guys get that crazy, bro. You are still coming to the conclusion that Kevin's not coming back. And now it's sinking in, and you're having to do your homework and look around and say, ooh, well, maybe I might want to evaluate this quarterback, maybe this draft class, because I don't have anything else to talk about. MG23 Raptor, glad you healthy. Just flew to my brother's city. We both watching. Big love. Let's go. We on them all year. I appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. K Journey, Cleveland media treats quarterbacks like a horse. Injured on the racetrack is disgusting. It might be worse. It's crazier. It's, man, we'll have a quarterback. Think about this. We spent half the year talking about, I hate doing this. We do radio and media in Cleveland. Why do I gotta consistently be sorry? Why are we talking about Josh Allen? Why are we talking about what the Steelers are doing? No disrespect to the Steelers. Why do we talk about what the Ravens are doing? Why do we always got somebody else's quarter? You know how disrespectful this is? Quarterbacks don't never go to other teams. If you're a franchise quarterback, they're signing you forever. A franchise quarterback never moves teams, right? It's built that way in the league. Can you imagine how creepy it is if you was the dude who's married that's always talking about one of your friends' wives? Not just one of your friends' wives. You talk about like 4 or 5 of your friends' wives all the time. You be watching her Facebook page. You be watching her Instagram talking about, oh, that's a nice outfit she got on. What? Hey, did you see what they want? They going on a Valentine's Day date. You see what she had on? Bro. That's kind of. Then you go to the other friends, but hey, you see it? They got the vacation pictures up. Hey, she looking good. She done had 2 good kids, though. She done got it together, though. Bro, why are you looking at somebody else's? First of all, you can't even really do that. Like, If you got married couple friends, bro, you can only follow. Matter of fact, you can't even really follow the family like that. It'd be like, I see y'all when I see y'all, but I'm not going to be on your Instagram. Like, you can't even be really, you can't call that woman ever. We family friends. No, I'm not calling. No. But why the heck y'all feel like y'all could be having whole shows about somebody else's quarterback that you ain't never going to get? Talking about what you would do if you got them. Would your life be turned around if you had John's wife? If you had Bill's wife, would you be at a better position, and could you afford this new mortgage that you want? This is crazy work. This is what y'all be doing. You do radio and television in Cleveland. You spend multiple segments talking about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. That's a party foul, bro. You can talk about it every once in a while, but let you bring up Jim's wife 2 times in a row. First of all, your wife gonna be like, hold on, whoa. What you mean you reached out to her? There should be no community. Hey, my wife said she ain't got no friends. No friends. None. I'd be encouraging. Nope. You my only friend. Nope. I said, what you mean? You gonna go out with him? Nah, I need to be at home. I need to come home. I need to figure out what we doing. We'll figure out something. I'm like, dang, bro. I be trying to, nope. Me and you friends. Me and you for life. Or for life. I'm like, creepy. All right, keep going. Let's keep it moving. Blacktop Bully. Next, they will call for Aaron Rodgers. Listen, it might come. It might show up. Now, listen, guys. We need to throw it out there. There's a guy named Tim Cholesterol from madeupquarterbackmovesfortheclevelandbrowns.com that has already said that in a third dimension, the dark version or the inverse version of Andrew Berry has come out and said that they might be interested in a veteran quarterback that resembles Aaron Rodgers with the same facial hair. Let's talk about it. We have to talk about it. What are the Cleveland Browns interested in the alternate universe version of the facial hair of Aaron Rodgers? That's crazy. Rosie loved your hair in that last video. Slayed it. Hey, girl. She put a little curly in there. I said, what you trying to do? Trying to be somebody out here? Blacktop Buddy. Man, bump all them folks. I'll see y'all in Paris. I will be there. Saints fan in a 12 jersey because I'm a new fan of the new Browns. This is how it's done. This is how you start. Listen, either you're building or you're tearing down. Rebuilding the new Browns. That's what we build. We're building. Y'all can be upset, bro. We building the new Browns. Ms. Bell, for all those that didn't know, AB was a decorated 4-year starting quarterback at Harvard. All Ivy League 3 times, All-American in 2008. He ain't no scrub. See, now, listen. Andrew Berry now is growing a fan base. You see how it's done? This is what standing on business gets you. It's all good, y'all. D. Fox and Zach said they would bet $100K is better than 12 in 5 years. That's a losing bet. Think about this. Even for a better, past data sets usually predict at a higher level what future data sets will look like. If two teams have seen Malik Willis, One who drafted him gave up on him in 2 years and drafted Will Levis. And another team who used him as a backup, but they feel he's not better. If he was so great, why ain't Jordan Love getting sat down? Oh, I forgot, because they think they know he's not better than Jordan Love. So what are we talking about? So you would bet $100K on his experience, but his best game ain't better than the best game that you've seen with Shedeur Sanders, and he's still a rookie? That's crazy work. I guess that's why they call it gambling. Joe McKnight says, AB Kicks says it all. Super Bowl 2026 is real. Go Cleveland. You see, the vitriol ain't even there no more. We at this point, fellas, we just see how we just having a conversation over here. We just having a conversation over here in the barbershop. People leisurely pull up, hear what we got to say, go back to about that, because that's how comfortable they is and what's happening right now. That's how comfortable it looks. Because everything we be breaking down, it really makes sense, don't it? It makes sense. It makes sense to the silly season. What information did you get that's different from them? And they dropping these videos strategically. Oh, there you go. Gregory Robinson. The Browns should consider drafting Jeremiah Love at 6. Take the top receiver available at 26. Use the second and fourth rounder on the offensive line and tight end and fill the gaps in remaining picks. Gregory Robinson. Jeremiah Love is very interesting. Depends on what receiver is available. I've already said, here's what I got to have. I either got to have Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon, or Carnell Tate. I just did. If you're a member, I keep giving you reasons why you should be a member. I keep giving you reasons. Me and Tyvis do our receiver breakdown. We're doing a bracket of 12 of the best receivers. We've dwindled our way down in the bracket style single elimination, and we just saw Carnell tape. So we do that over here. If you're interested in breakdowns, you want to see the draft breakdowns, we got that every Thursday. We give you film review. We give you our members only chat on Tuesday. We consistently give you that. But here's what I'm saying. Out of the people we've seen, the top 3 receivers, I got to have at least one of them. Got to have one at least. Lamina, 566. G. Bush, I think they should change Shedeur's jersey back to number 2. It would drive the media crazy, and we'll send a ton of new jerseys this season. By the way, shout out to Boog. See, I am the unofficial consultant of things that really don't matter. I ain't gonna act like they calling me up. They're not calling G. Bush, but I told them this. I am a marketing person, some would say. I have very strong branding ideas. I mean, I am a guy who came up with a panda and a barbershop poll. I am a person who came up with Kool-Aid Mafia, as you see it behind me. Make sure you go check that out. Kool-Aid Mafia. Get you one of them cups. So, Boog on the stream, make sure you go check that out. Boog says, G. Bush, what you think about, I'm going to ask you this. What you think of going back to 2? Now, mind you, I told him, he asked me on the couch. He said, when he was on UCSS, he said, what you think about because he was going through some stuff when he first got drafted. He said, he was telling me he might not do the wrist celebration no more. You know what I'm saying? Because he trying to tone it down. People has been on him, at the draft. I said, under no circumstances will we ever, no. You got to understand that this is the wrist and the Rollie is more, the wrist and the Rolex is more than just a celebration. See, when somebody got the wrist or the Rolex on, and this is why I keep the receipts with me. I'm just talking right now. I ain't even getting into much. But this is why I keep the receipts with me. Because when you get the Rollie and you put that wrist on, it means more than just the wrist, right? The wrist means you aspiring to be somebody. the risk means for all the young kids, I might not never have enough money to buy no Rolex watch. But it's to show that I got inner pride. It's to show that I got something. It's to show that I ain't got the watch on right now, but I'm trying to get it. It's showing you that I'm more than meets the eye. That, I may be from a disenfranchised place. I may be from a different place. I may be somewhere with somebody trying to hold me back. They don't want me to shine like this. They don't want me to be exuberant and saying I'm the best. You want me to still stay in a sunken place where you can tell me that I ain't worth it because I don't got nobody around me that's getting it the way you getting it. But guess what? One day I'm going to get that rollie. One day I'm going to get it off. One day you're going to see I'm coming up. I'm rising. So that's something that don't go nowhere. What you talking about? You never get rid of a slogan like that, man. Nike don't never get rid of the check. That Nike stand forever. Right? Like, don't ever. You got something that's all you got to do is stand by it. So luckily, I ain't saying I had nothing to do with it. He kept it. I said, yo, that's what's up. So he asked me, he said, yo, what's going on with it, G. Bush? Or back to number 2, I said, listen. So Nike, you can take this, get whatever you want from it. He was at 2. He went to 12. Now that's funny because 12 is 21 backwards, right? And it looked like he was having his father's career, but in reverse. You see, when Prime came in, he came in with the jewelry, came in dripped up, decorated. 21. He came in riding a high horse, right? Shedeur came in unheralded, embroiled in controversy. So he flipped what his dad did. So he started off with 12. Prime came at 21 because their careers was backwards in terms of what they was going to get to. But always remember that 21 and that 12 is standing for the same thing. It's just how they flipped it backwards. So after that, he couldn't get number 2. So you know what? The 2 is the rebirth. So you drop the 1, right? You go to 2. And now it's the rebirth like the phoenix through the ashes. You say, dang, that's crazy. See, how did the phoenix turn to ashes? He had to go through the fire. So the fire purified it. Least common denominator, got rid of the 1, purified it down to the 2, and it's the rebirth to where you was at. And by the way, you still got the $2. It ain't the $12. It's the $2. We waiting for that to come out. You notice he ain't got rid of that yet. Come on out with that. That phoenix through the fire, you got to go through it. You can take that. Don't go ahead to go and get the commercial together. But that rebirth, and guess what that's going to happen? That jersey going to sell out the wazoo. That jersey going to be out of here. And the 12 is a throwback now. See, I kind of do this a little bit. I do it a little bit. Shout out to Nike, man. Talk to you, boy. Love Black People app. You have a media ceiling that is limitless. Leave the underdeveloped, intellectually lazy media platforms alone, please. Can you do analysis of what Shedeur went through with the NFL corporation last season as a case study for young Black professionals? I like that. I like that. I like that concept. Boog talked about how even he was taken afar and aback because he said, Boog gave him the advice of, hey, Shedeur, just keep doing you. Just be the best you can be, and you're going to be great. And Shedeur said, nah, that ain't true. I already did that. I was the best I could be in college. I was one of the best. And when I got to the league, none of that mattered. And it didn't have nothing to do with what I was able to do on the field. It had something to do with what somebody said. See, sometimes a lie can really overpower the truth when it's not checked and you get a bunch of people that refused to do their homework. And he said, you know why? He said, if it was just me, I'd be good. I'd have made it. You know, I'm cool. I could get, but I for all them people that showed up and supported me, I'm doing it for them now. And the case study would be great because the case study goes to show you that you can do all the right things, but there's a process that God takes you through where you can't predict it, you can't manage it, you can't do nothing. That's why I always told people, you put the best foot forward, and then whatever happens, let God take you from there. And it shows about branding, because the crazy thing on a corporate level is the same people that started the rumors and said that he wasn't no good, couldn't get it done. He's at a precipice right now where his story is even bigger than what it could be this year. See, when you start from the bottom, you can't, it's undeniable. There is nothing, if he goes out and plays well this year, it is undeniable. You tried it. You tried everything you could. And yet, here I am. Not because of my father, not because of who I was, not because of the name on the back of the jersey, or not because I had a quote-unquote cult. It's because I am who I was, and through God's blessing, my perseverance and getting it done, I'm here today. You can't take that. Jonathan McGriff, G. Bush, Cleveland Sports Prophet. Shedeur Sanders throwing the trash cans. We wanted him traded. Coach wouldn't even say his name, G. Bush. And G. Bush said, relax. Unks and aunties now look at God. New coach, more wins, more yards. Let me tell y'all this by yourself. Let me tell y'all this. It wasn't the most comfortable thing saying that. Let me tell you something. I went through a lot with that. I mean, you think that everybody was cool with some of the stuff I was saying? You think the industry loved that I was saying what I was saying, being so detailed with it, standing on business with it, going at people with it? No. I had a lot of tough conversations with folks everywhere. And to think about it like this, the stuff I was saying, there was no evidence of. Remember, Book said, we kept telling him, he said, I just know I'm going to play. I just know I'm going to play. I just know I'm going to play. And same thing happened to me. I just knew he was going to play. I just knew. I couldn't tell you how. And every day I would get up, he said, go do a blog. And I'm like, come on, man. You want me to say what? You want me to? I don't know, bro. That's kind of wild work. But that just goes to show you. You line up with what he tell you to do, and he'll let the rest happen. Resurrect Men's. Cult has a negative connotation compared to fan. It does. We agree. Did you see Cleveland Valentine Day post? He definitely quarterback number one. I did not see that. Didn't see that. We got to take a look at that. JB Smooth 92. It's crazy how they can call 12 fans cults. But when you say people who praise an individual in D.C. with all of their shortcomings and alleged shortcomings, a cult member, that's a problem or hyperbolic. Yeah. And by the way, I'm going to just keep it real with you. It'd be double standards. It'd be super double standards. And here's the thing, too. That's why I even stopped talking about that. You know what I learned? Let me tell you this. I learned I stay out the way, and I come in here and I try to do God's work, stay out the way, and whatever. Listen, I'll try to create and do what I can for this world on my own small level. I can't change the world. I just pray for it. But at the end of the day, some of the stuff that be going on, I'll be looking around. But then, God tell you, put your head down and go out here and touch the people like you're supposed to. One person at a time in your own way. That's all you can do. Funny how the media don't want to read too deep into what Miles said about Shedeur, but a simple cultural meme gets posted, and now they're Jacques Cousteau. Well, that's the thing too. That's what I like about. I like about the fact that we get an opportunity to break that out. We get to break it down. You see, the Browns is very good. They've told you in at every lean. Todd Monken said it. Then Denzel Ward said it. Then Shelby Harris said it. Then Myles Garrett said it. Then Andrew Berry just came out and reaffirmed it. So I mean, you'd be a fool at this point to come out here. And to be truthful, y'all is getting smart. I'll give it to y'all. You guys are getting very smart. You're not arguing with people as much. You're not as bothered. You're not as, you're not arguing with folks. Your peace levels is good. I can imagine, I can see, as the spirit of the bar, I see y'all out there just doing chores, folding laundry, just enjoying your off season, calling up your loved ones, chatting with them. Hey, how you doing? I just was thinking about you the other day, girl. How you doing? Yeah, you good? You just look, trying out new recipes. Me and my wife, we was trying out a new recipe the other day. I say, oh, this is nice, man. Why you trying? That's because you understand the game. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And the talk and the chatter is part of the numbers game. 12 enabled Nike to sell 100,000 pairs of his birthday sneakers in 4.2 seconds. It's bigger than football. Black man that's empowering real black power. Y'all got to. This is and I've been kicking it to y'all on the higher level about. That's why I try to come over and talk about economics, business. Just on a sheer business level, I done seen people with less talent get propped up and given everything because they are marketable. I done seen people with less marketability, with less talent get propped up. What you just mentioned, my sir, is why it's so crazy that people, also the NFL told you what it was. The NFL told you. The NFL said the Cleveland Browns are going to get a game in Paris. Why? They was just, think about it. They just ran it back. You know you can't do back-to-back years. Usually teams don't do back-to-back years going to England. They tried to set it up the first time for him and give him an out card, but somehow Kevin Stefanski had Dylan Gabriel playing. They said we done messed up the promotion. They go over to London. It's Shedeur Sanders photos and pictures everywhere. They say you done messed our promotion up abroad. You done messed our foreign policy up. They had to go back and recreate a whole nother game to get it popping next year. I'm like, man, y'all going to Paris? Then they was like, yeah, you're gonna be a Pro Bowler too. What? Oh, by the way, Myles Garrett. Yeah. Go to the Tonight Show. Yeah, Tonight Show. What? Yeah, I don't understand this big business. This man is trying to crack the ground on a brand new billion trillion dollar stadium. And them ticket prices gonna be looking crazy. You need to get some of that money. See, global fan base means global ticket sales. Y'all didn't get me? Y'all didn't understand? Global fan base means there are people that are going to have money to get on them planes and come on out here and sit up in here and put some of that money in Northeast Ohio's pockets. Come on here and support the hardworking people in Northeast Ohio. Come on down here and support these fellas. Go ahead and put some money back into the inner city. Put some money back into that economy. Come on over here. We got shopping. We got malls. We're going to build some hotels. We're going to do a lot. And a lot of it's going to be due to 12. Yeah, we back. We back at it. I call people that support you when you're low, family and community. They call us a cult for not accepting their grade, their garbage grade, that great young role model. Hey, I like what you said right there. I call people that support you when you low, family and community. I love that. I ain't gonna lie. I be salty as hell when the national media talk about the Browns because most of the times it's negative. Hey, man, D Woods, man, I get what you're saying. Most of the time it's crazy. Like, even locally, like, think about this. Why is it that, you're here to talk about your squad. You're here to talk about your team. Why you mad? I got to figure it out. I love Black People app. Thanks for protecting our young warrior for the wicked principalities that act on all our young sister and brothers. Your expertise is a powerful calling, win or lose. Not today, Satan. I appreciate you. I love Black People app. I appreciate it. Much too kind. A lot of people say, I'm just saying this to say this. And if you've been watching, I got a long track record of telling the truth. It just didn't start here. But the impact is that when you are talking about this stuff, you get an opportunity to do it because you do have a person who has a reach, who has people who watch him. So that's a blessing as well. D Woods, they say they use Allen as the standard, but Josh hasn't won a Super Bowl. Doesn't make sense. They done fetishize Josh Allen. At this point, the way they do Josh Allen is like they done made it to a point where it's like he is the culmination of every fantasy they had. He's tall, dark, and handsome, big arm, can run. He's charismatic. He's emotional. He cries at the booth. He cries when things happen. He's excited. Fans love him. And don't get it twisted. Josh Allen is a damn good quarterback. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, they're tremendous. Patrick Mahomes, tremendous. These guys are some of the best quarterbacks. And listen, I respect them, love them, because I'm a student of the game. But at some point, you got to start to say, do you want to love everybody else's household, or do you want to create your own? Because sometimes you got to just start to love your own. Want better for you. And to do that, you got to develop your own quarterback and then support him like you do Josh Allen. Actually support him. And don't after every other game have a conversation. Because here's the thing. Here's the point. When you do have a quarterback and when you do start to have a franchise quarterback, what are you going to do if the franchise quarterback does not have a good game? Are you going to then litigate whether or not he's a franchise quarterback every game? He has to play perfectly. Does he have to play perfectly in the playoffs? Does he have a chance to play bad 3 years in the playoffs? That's the problem. At some point, you got to stop the pursuit of a quarterback and just live in it. If Malik was quarterback number one, why did Tennessee draft Cam as quarterback one? Well, Malik Willis, they drafted Will Levis and then started Will Levis. That's why he was no longer in Tennessee. Then Will Levis was no good, and then they drafted Cam Ward. Willis is an option with the few games and numbers he had. Now he worth millions. Browns will keep losing until they trust one quarterback. They're like the guys that keep creeping outside for the next thing. Sweetie, you're right. You You be looking around. Half the time they don't even look good. They don't look good as you. They ain't got the characteristics. They ain't as hard working. They ain't as loyal. They ain't as nurturing. They don't do nothing. But it be you and your insecurities looking around like, but you got pretty eyes though. Stop. Come on, man. Pull yourself together. Let's see. One and only-ish. AG Bush, they was prognosticating. Yeah, they was. Shy says 12 squared is 144. That's kind of deep too. G Bush, don't say drop the one. I just brought the 12 jersey this morning, the white and the Browns one. Let's go with 1-2 legendary. Hashtag the new Cleveland. Man. I'm sorry, Mary ass. I didn't. It's Mary ass 12. That shit. You got the 12. You got the craziest. Listen, I didn't know your picture to me in my mind is what embodies a see you auntie. That right there, like your profile picture to me is when they say see you auntie. I just look at that and I'm like, there it is. That's it. It's the greatest. I don't know who did it. Shout out to your artist, Fiverr, whoever did it. It's great. So yeah, I don't want, but something tells me you'll get the 2 jersey too. Some tells me you had that 2 ready to go. Like some tells me you be like, no. Hold on. I gotta call back the people. Call them back. I don't want to keep it. Milwaukee 5032. G Bush, how does it feel to look to know your coworkers are thinking and thinking about Shedeur? I just tell them, just go ahead and accept it. I mean, we had fun. I didn't talked about every quarterback this much. It just happens that they wasn't good. And then didn't have nobody that came with them. We talked about all these quarterbacks. DTO, why you mad? Why would you be upset? Just come on around. And here's the thing, too. I always tell them like this. Hey, you can have your opinion. If you don't think Shedeur is good, that's your opinion, bro. But here's the thing. Stop trying to get me to say what my opinion is. Just admit it. Just admit it, G. Bush. Admit it, G. Bush. G. Bush, admit it. Admit it, G. Bush. Admit it, G. Bush. G. Bush, admit it. You know how many times I heard? Admit it, G. Bush. G. Bush, admit it. Just say what it is, G. Bush. And I keep saying, well, say what? That I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be the starting quarterback week 1? How can you say? I'm like, yeah. Listen, why am I okay? Why am I okay with my opinion? And I could be okay with yours. But you just are flabbergasted why my opinion. What? I don't get it. I think it's funny. Grace and mercy will win every time. Ms. Bell, it sure does. It sure does. Ben Scott Sargi, thanks for taking those hits for it. Ain't no take. We ain't take no hits. And you say, this is easy. Ain't no hits. You know it's hits. Hits is waking up being like, man, that rent is due, and I've been laid off for 4 or 5 weeks. And I don't know where I'm getting this money from. That's a hit. We talk about what's the name. We having fun over here. We talk about sports. Get a chance to talk about sports and have fun on a Saturday. 2,361 people in here just having a good old time. This is great. Mary, just kidding. If nephew go back to 2, I'm getting that jersey as well. You already know you was getting it. I already knew you. Listen, I already know. I already know your spirit. You got the spirit of not today. You got the spirit of, we gonna figure it out. We gonna get that one too. Man, this rhetoric needs to stop. 12 is quarterback 1. CC Clark, I appreciate you so much. Hey, man, they can keep the rhetoric, but I'm just letting y'all know it ain't gonna happen. I like you, Peace. I appreciate you as well. Alexander Gallant, I said, I just hope they take Cardinal Tate who's available at 6. Hey, Alexander, that boy Cardinal's, that boy we was watching on that tape. If you remember, if you want to go, all of them is available. If you remember, take time to go back. Check out all the receivers being Tyvus talked about. It's available. But that boy, that last one was crazy. D-Skull, you right, G. I ain't arguing with these folks. How can one argue logic with illogical? Ignore the hate. That's it. Yeah. Hey, we having look, bro, we good. Think about it like this. Tell people all the time. If you thought Shedeur Sanders wasn't no good, when the last game he played? When the next game he gonna play? All right, then. You ain't got no new information. It is what it is. That's your mindset. It is. I can't argue with you. But don't come up here trying to argue with me because we ain't had no new games to tell us he was garbage. Because we already seen what we seen. And by the way, over here, we have it documented. See, you don't got to go back to Total Recall. Go back and watch every single game that we broke down with the film work. Members only. If you want to become a member, the film work is available. You become a member, we break down every single game. You got it ready to go right there on demand. So when they telling you certain things, see how a catalog works? Yeah, you going by recollection. You was watching the game just like we was at home, but we broke it down a little bit deeper. Make sure y'all go check that out. And last but not Lord of the Drip, Luther said it. If it can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. That's a whole that's Lord of the Drip. That's a 3-tone meeting. Like that was a triple entendre. That could have been talking about Valentine's Day today. That could have been talking about people always doing too much when they always looking for somebody better. And that could be talking about the Browns quarterback situation. We got to end on a good note, man. We got to end on a great note. We appreciate y'all. You never know what G. Bush might show up, radio, television, internet. But if you want the fresh cut on sports, you know that boy G. Bush keep the Clippers with him. Have a great rest of your evening. And happy Valentine's Day from me and Rosie. And as always, go Browns.